We're setting up for Fairchild's 80th Members Day. It's probably, it might be the biggest one in our history. 119 species of plants, lots of natives, lots of wonderful exotics, and lots of totally new introductions that we've never had before and have never been in South Florida before. And it's going to be super, super exciting. So I hope lots of people show up on Saturday.
Come show us.
Okay, these are the distribution plants that were here. We have almost all of them set out. The tradition of distribution goes way back to David Fairchild's days in the late 1930s. And these are plants that we have in larger quantities that we especially want to get out to the horticultural public. And many of these are brand new plants from different expeditions, and some of them are native plants, and some of them are plants that just have been underutilized in South Florida. We want to get into more people's homes. And plants that flower, plants that attract wildlife, and plants that have beautiful foliage. That's all covered here, so whole diversity. Yeah, so this is one of our most exciting new introductions. This is a fig that we haven't even identified yet, but it's one that's actually a wonderful ground cover. It's the only fig I've ever found that has beautiful color on the underside of its leaves. You can see the little figs that are on it that also have some color, nice orange. And we think of figs as trees that get to be great big banyans and whatnots, but this one stays low and it spreads, and it gives you this beautiful contrast of dark green top and purplish red underneath. And it's never been grown in the US before, so this is your chance to have one, be one of the first to have it. So this is another new introduction. This is actually, we got this from a botanical garden in Hawaii. It's an Atractocarpus, which is in the coffee family, and it has beautiful glossy leaves. It's from New Guinea originally, and it has these big, beautiful, white, fragrant flowers like a gardenia. And this is also something that nobody's ever grown in South Florida before, so if you get this here, you'll be one of the first people to have it.
Okay, tell us what we're looking at here, Chad.
Okay, this is a beautiful little native in the sunflower family. It's Chaptalia albicans, and it's also related to dandelions. And they have beautiful yellow flowers that then make these beautiful intricate seed heads with these little tiny parachutes that the seeds use to float away on the wind. And it's a beautiful native for full sun areas, and makes a nice, attractive little clump for your yard.
Is it a pollinator?
Yeah, it attracts bees and actually also butterflies, so it's a great wildlife attractor. Yeah, this is a beautiful little native here we have in the bean family, and it's a relative of the famous sensitive plants. It's in the mimosa group of the beans, and it's Neptunia pubescens, and it tends to grow on open areas in pine rocklands. And like the sensitive plant, the leaves are a little bit sensitive, and so they're kind of slow to close, but they do close. And a little slower than the traditional sensitive plants, but it has beautiful little yellow poofy flowers, and then it makes little tiny bean pods, and that's how it spreads. One of our new offerings for Members Day this year is this really endangered plant from the island of Mauritius. It's Hibiscus fragilis, and there's only a handful of them left in the wild, and it grows on dry hillsides in Mauritius and has these stems that grow horizontally and make these beautiful reddish pink flowers, and it's a good hibiscus for South Florida. Yeah, there was one of these hibiscus from Mauritius. It was one that was actually thought for almost a century to be extinct in the wild. But we had one left in the garden several years ago, and fortunately we took some backup cuttings because a colleague of mine knew it was a very special plant, and that plant died. The original died in Hurricane Irma, and now we have about 10 of them in the nursery, so we planted some out in the garden again, so it's safe.